Welcome to the High Rise Podcast, presented by Headset, the leading data and analytics company for the cannabis industry.
Hey, Emily. Everybody, welcome back to the High Rise, a laid-back, a data-back conversation where we talk all things cannabis. And today we have a very special episode, 420 on a Monday.
420 on a Monday. How we doing? Welcome to the High Rise.
Welcome to the High Rise. So it's Monday, April 20th. Last week when we were recording the High Rise, we talked about doing kind of a live show here to cover what happened over the weekend and what's going to happen today, and just some fun 420 stuff. So you'll probably notice we've got, if you're listening to this later, check us out on YouTube. We've got some visuals to share. The thing I wanted to share today, and we'll have it running the whole time, is the Headset Live dashboard that we've got going. That'll show real-time transactions across the US and Canada here. I will click on in. You could see that there's going to be these dots that are pulsing. So large transactions are green. So anything that shows up green is a transaction that's over $100. If it's blue, it's between $50 and $100. And then if it's kind of an orange yellowish color, it's under $50. That's what those colors are. And then they just kind of populate all over the country here.
It's really exciting. It's fun to watch this because it's just, this is the holiday that brings us together for sure.
Yeah, it does. It does. And it's I don't know, we do this every year in some form, right? At Headset, we'll do we'll certainly do a lot of reporting come the end of the day today, after 420 is actually done. This is an interesting year. Last year was an interesting year as well, but this year, 420 is again on a Monday here, and a lot of sales happened over the weekend, right? I saw everywhere sales started essentially on Friday, or as we talked about on the High Rise, the last episode, even earlier. I think you were saying Wednesday, Tuesday.
Yes.
In Florida, yeah.
Yeah, we started on the 8th. We started on
the 8th. Amazing.
We really did. And then on the 10th, we really took it up a notch, and then we've been at 11 since the 15th of April. So tax day, come get it. So it's been fun. A lot of excitement. This past weekend, so much energy going through the stores. It was really exciting to see. So I'm loving it.
Yeah, good. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing those stories. So this year, again, we'll have a lot of reporting coming out of Headset throughout the week on, what did the 420 long weekend really look like. I do have some data that I brought on this weekend, so we can look at Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Last year, it was on Easter Sunday. I think you mentioned that on the last episode. Yeah, so that's another weird 420, I would say. Just a strange day for shopping. So it's a little tricky to compare, Friday, Saturday, Sunday this year versus Friday, Saturday, Sunday last year, because it did include 420 on Sunday last year, but it also was Easter. So just a lot of caveats, a lot of asterisks on the data as you look at it, and I'm sure we'll be sharing a lot of that. So I'll talk through this dashboard here. We'll just have it kind of running, kind of monitoring this, and go through the numbers that I have for, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Just kind of see what anything notable came out of the weekend there. And then we have some kind of fun 420 history stuff that we pulled. Honestly, if you asked me before we produced this stuff, I wouldn't have been able to give you a good answer on the history, the name, where it all comes from.
Yeah. I knew about it because I live in the Upper Haight area and Northern California. And so the story, the origin of 420 comes from this. But, I just wanted to take a moment to pause and acknowledge most other industries don't have a day. There's Black Friday for broader consumerism and all these things, but it's pretty cool that we have this one holiday that we all kind of coalesce around and align on. And some people might say it's whatever. It's the it's the casual consumers celebrate on 420, but I think it is actually quite everybody kind of takes a minute and observes it. And I get messages from people who aren't even in the industry, and they're like, "Hope you have a great day today." I'm like, "Okay, thanks for knowing that 420 is a thing." I mean, and as we joked in prior sessions, like even the politicians know what 420 is, as they often time announcements or various things around it. Not that that lip service is translated into action, but it does seem to get the attention of everybody almost. So, and including, over the weekend, I saw a data about the surging at fast food restaurants like Taco Bell, et cetera, around 420.
That's
on
cool
420.
data.
Yeah. So it was kind of a fun thing. I've always said that we don't, some cannabis will no longer be in a silo at some point, and I think we're starting to see where it's getting acknowledged for its crossover with other things, including fast food.
Yeah, it's I wonder, for anybody out there, like, write in, let us know. I'm curious about like the hemp beverage category and like locations that sell cannabis drinks alongside other products like alcohol, right? Like grocery
Mm-hmm.
in a lot of markets,
Mm-hmm.
big box retailers in a lot of markets. And I wonder, if they have like end cap displays related to 420, like if it's carried through, when you go into a grocery store and it's like 4th of July weekend and there's the big end cap with all the Budweiser and the like picnic chairs or whatever, coolers, ready to go, right? And I wonder if they're leaning into it, because you're right, it's such so well known that, yeah, even the politicians are using it in things. So
Yes.
yeah, curious. I mean, obviously, we're going to be talking about the regulated market, the cannabis licensed retail stores, and how sales are going. And for sure, they embrace it, right? They embrace it with deals, promotions, everything, right? But I am curious, like the broader. One day, you'll walk into a grocery and it'll, just like July 4th, it'll be 420. Like, oh, it's 420 this Monday. I should pick some stuff up.
Exactly. All right, so I'll let you jump in then.
Yeah, so well, here's the dashboard. We're watching this live. It's like on an hour and a half delay, so live-ish. But if any of you are out there shopping, your transaction should pop up here if you're at one of our connected stores. We're close to 4,000 live connections coming in. It is 10 a.m. on the West Coast, so the West Coast kind of waking up today, as far as like stores coming online, opening up. East Coast obviously been running sales quite a bit already today. This dashboard shows you where those transactions are happening. It's a really clear picture on where there are no regulated licensed cannabis stores. Like you'll see Texas is quiet, right? But it's you'll see good coverage, but it really does highlight where you can't just go in 21 plus and buy adult use cannabis, or medical cannabis at like a traditional dispensary. So watch along. You can go to this. It's at 420.headset.io, and if you're listening to this or viewing this even after 420, you could still go back and replay. Like we can replay Friday, Saturday, Sunday sales here to really see, and you can replay it quickly. It's just kind of a fun thing to monitor. And I think having close to 4,000 door connections here, these are all headset connections with the retailers. We work with all the retailers, the dispensaries that do provide us data. The scope and the scale is pretty massive of like what we see. So it just reminds me, especially this weekend when I did go into a couple stores and I thought, oh, this is 2 stores, and I think about 4,000 of them, and making all those connections. It's not taking us a little while, but it's pretty interesting data to see.
I love to see it, and I love to think about what all of these circles, what they represent. I love that they have different sizes of the baskets, and so you can just think about like what's in that basket, what's that person purchasing, and I just love it. It's fun.
So fun.
Yeah.
Look at like Michigan right now. You can see, can't really zoom in effectively, but I expect to see a lot of like the yellow dots, right? Pre-rolls, high volume, low price stuff coming out of Michigan. It looks like kind of a mix maybe more yellow. So just kind of fun to watch, where are the high ticket items coming from? But, people stock up too, right? The deals are pretty good. And we'll talk about those deals for sure. But I guess without further ado, let's talk about the weekend, huh? Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So again, 420 weekend, we're still in the midst of 420. So these numbers are not final, but given Friday, Saturday, Sunday is a big shopping day, we wanted to pull that. So in the US, the data that I got out of Headset here shows that the 420 weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, did about $204 million in sales. Pretty good. And to give you a sense of like how that contrasts with other weekends. So the prior weekend before, the prior Friday, Saturday, Sunday was $193 million in sales. So total dollar lift that we saw over the weekend, roughly 5%. So not the biggest lift, but for in dollars, right? And I think that's interesting because it's all discounted. Discounts are much higher, and then that comes in through the unit counts. So the other interesting metric for the 420 weekend, unit wise, about 134 million units were sold, and contrast that with the prior weekend, it was 11.5 million units. So 13.4 versus 11.5. So almost 2 million additional units were sold in the same time frame prior weekend. So that's like a 16% jump in unit sales and a 5% jump in dollar sales. So, pretty good, but it's to be expected, right? I mean, units are where all this stuff's coming from.
Units are where it's all coming from, and it's we all know this at this point. Like, people always are like, oh, you must kill for 420. And it's like, yes, we do. 420 is important because it's a way to relate to the consumer. It's a loyalty connection for people. It's a way for people to try new products because the promotional activity is so strong. But on an absolute dollar basis, it's not the gangbuster that some people might imagine it is, but it is a great way to relate to the customer and have a lot of fun and engagement with them as well, and the patients. So it's cool for that. And honestly, I mean, the units spike is always good to see because that does show that's a demand thing, right? So we've all been doing price seeking as an industry in this market to understand where things will move the best. And you can see how it occurs on these holidays where the price moves and the products move. So it's pretty cool. You're muted, Sai.
Yikes. It's going to be really interesting to see the prior or what people are publishing as far as data because of today, because of Monday. I mean, Monday versus Sunday, it will be interesting. 420 to just 420. I think that if I have to guess, I think today is going to be a lower sales day than last 420 on its own. 420 versus 420. Even with Easter in the mix, I think that a lot of people bought Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And so today maybe a little bit lighter where, 420 was part of the weekend last year, right? We're out of the weekend now. So if I had to guess, it would be lower. The reason I may be wrong on that is the emerging markets, like New York's had great growth over the last year, more stores opening up. So we may see more volume top line because just more markets are online or more mature. Ohio and pre-rolls being relatively new there, things like this may move the needle a little bit. But it's tricky. Everyone loves the top line numbers, and I do too. But it's really like what is driving it, what's not driving it, and the days may be different, Sunday versus Monday. But we will know at the end of today where it lands, and we'll be publishing that pretty quickly. But back to the weekend sales. So just want to look at category breakdown. So 420 weekend this year versus the prior weekend versus baseline. Looking at category, looks like, let's see, if I have a percentage units versus baseline growth here, and the categories that win as far as total growth of units, Beverage and Topical, and they're both very small. Beverage did about 3 million in sales. Topicals did less than a million, 800K. So very, very small. Contrast that with flower, which was 78 million, right? So beverages coming in at 3, flower at 78. So when you see sizable unit growth, on a small basis, it's not surprising, right? And I think beverage won last year too, right?
It did. And we see this spike on beverage in almost every holiday pattern with all of the promotional activity. So people, I think, try the category for the first time, or because if you do an absolute comparison on price per gram or however your math is around your decision to purchase a product, beverage tends not to be the best bang for your buck, so to speak. And so I do think, first of all, it's a newer category, and then I think people are excited to try it with the promotional activity that's going on. I mean, even myself, I went shopping this weekend and took advantage of 40% off here in California up at Soulful in Healdsburg, and I loaded up on beverage because it was a good deal. So that was kind of my move, and I wanted to try actually a new taste from the Hi-Fi Sessions beverage, which is one of my favorites. So
That's
I
cool.
did that, and then PAX had dropped a new rosin all-in-one device. I have to say,
Wow.
it works very well. Yeah, I was impressed. So I was excited for that. So yeah, it's kind of like take the opportunity to try things that you hadn't had exposure to before. That's like what we were talking about too the other day on the pod. Like, is 420 not just an opportunity to throw out all the best sales, but it's also an opportunity to do special product drops or launch new form factors or SKUs. It's a really good time to have some fun in the market.
It is, and I managed to get out and about too, and pretty similar story, I would say, but I'll get into that in a second. So beverage, topical, and then I thought this was interesting. Edibles up 30%. Discount percentage points. It looks like edibles were the highest, an additional 9.9 percentage point discount versus previous. So that's significant. Everything was discounted. Flower 7.5, vape 8.2, just additional discounts, percentage point discount on average across markets. And there were a lot of good deals here. I even saw in Washington, 55%. I mean, it sort of looked like Florida. Pretty crazy discount. So on average here, edibles did 9.9. So that's higher than beverage. Beverage was 9.1. Additional percentage points on discount. So edibles did 30% unit increase. They moved, 2.5 million units. Boy, that's more than vape. Vape did 2.475, and edibles did 2.54. So a lot of edibles moving. And let's see, units.
Wow,
Yep,
hot damn, that's interesting.
It's cheaper, right?
It's cheaper, right?
Right. On an average basis, because vape, let's say a roughly equivalent amount of units, 2.5 million over the weekend, but vape did 49 million in sales, and edibles did 26 million in sales, right? So same amount of units, but vape doing 49 million versus 26. So edibles cheaper, but biggest lift, going to 2.5 units from 1.9 units.
I've been watching to see what's going to happen with the edibles category, because year over year, it's actually been kind of, it's taken a hit in a few ways, I noticed in the data. And I wondered if it is because of the THCA hemp gummies that are in the market. Like, that's one of the most pervasive forms of that product that's available at, gas stations near you, and certainly probably an unreliably tested product. But I'm just kind of curious to watch to see what happens with that category as we see potentially some of these states continue to lock it down a little bit. But I don't know.
Well, here's Smokies just showed up on the list here. So on the right, if you're using our dashboard, you can click any of these brands. It'll give you a summary of the brand, their performance last year, demographic data. So we see age and gender at the point of sale, right? So we're able to give you a sense of who's buying this stuff, and then menu penetration in the states that they're in. So just coverage, availability. But when you were talking about edibles, it made me think about the demographic trends. Gen Z's 13%. This is not edibles. This is not edible category alone. Just Smokies, the brand, right? So, brands also resonate differently with different audiences. Some edible companies probably do better with Gen Z. Some do better with millennials and so on. But I was thinking about that with edibles. It feels like when I looked at the demographic category data, I feel like edibles aren't super popular with Gen Z. I think millennials, Gen X, more popular, and Gen Z's definitely gravitating towards vape. So it's the vape versus edible battle, and we have equal units over the weekend.
Let the kids vape. No, I'm kidding. Adults over 21.
That's right.
I mean, they were raised like, think about it. When Gen Z was growing up, all the tobacco vape craziness just blew up. Like, we grew up with cigarettes around us, and they grew up with vapor pens. So I'm not surprised that it translates to the cannabis category. It's also discreet. It's also easy to use. It's also potentially good looking. Like, the vapes are kind of cool looking sometimes. Anyway.
Yeah, here's Jeter, 23%, Gen Z. So
Juggernaut.
Jeter makes a lot of different, pre-rolls, vape, etc.
Yep.
Here's Wana. So look at the Gen Z, 8% on Wana.
Yep.
Jeter was 23%. Millennials 31%. Again, these are brand specific.
Yeah, I would also
category.
say that. Yeah, like Jeter's branding and positioning is definitely more toward, I feel like, the Gen Z,
100%.
young, Gen millennials. Wait, yeah, baby millennials.
For sure.
Not geriatric millennials.
Which I think is that us?
That's us.
Yeah.
Well, we're kind of like,
or geriatric millennials or young Gen X.
Yeah.
In the no man's land. Washington popping off last month, 93 million in sales. Look at Washington. I thought this was interesting on the dashboard. This is just Washington last year. Or is this is day stats?
Yeah.
This might be today. Yeah. Yeah, here we go. 45% discount rate. Holy smokes. Let me check Florida. Oh, Florida doesn't want to.
Oh my gosh, one of our patients in Indy, Atlantic, just messaged me. They're watching. Hey.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thanks for shopping at Sunburn. I love that.
We didn't talk about Canada. I do have some Canada numbers, obviously much smaller. Canada. Yeah, Canada. Canada provincial data from us. Ontario is where most of the sales are coming from, but population wise, it's like California size wise. So the numbers are much lower. But what was surprising is that it really wasn't much of a lift. The unit lift in Canada. So it was 37 million in 420 weekend, about 36.7 million last weekend, right? And so dollar versus baseline, like 3%. Unit lift, only 4%.
Ew.
Yeah. They're not getting the good deals.
Well, maybe they don't. 420 feels very U.S. centric.
Could be.
Maybe they're not partying all the time like we are.
I don't know. If you're in Canada in the market, let us know like what the deal is there. How is 420? Yeah, is 420 as a thing at all? Because these numbers show that it's a thing. 3% dollar lift. That's something, especially versus 5. But
that's something.
Yeah, but it's like maybe they don't do as much in the deal perspective. Maybe it's just more of a fun, like, oh, it's 420, we should go shopping.
Right.
Not, oh, it's 420, I should stock up because everything's so cheap, which is kind of my story.
It's my story and I'm sticking to it.
That's right.
Amazing.
Okay, let's see. Any other interesting Canadian data while on here? Topicals up, tinctures up. Again, very small base. Very, very small. Topicals like 150K. Edibles only up 3%. Vapor pens up 5%. Beverage only up 5%. Yeah.
Look what's trending. CBX, one of my favorites. Oh, they just popped out.
Did it disappear?
Yeah. They were top 3
Oh,
for a minute.
here they
There they
are.
are. I was trying to get some.
Hopefully it'll load for us.
Yeah, loading.
Loading.
Sorry, keep going. I
Data.
just got excited. I love CBX. See, because
Yeah.
that's California just turned on.
California's turning on, right? I mean, yeah,
Turning
10:30.
turning up. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, you're
That's
still going to
cool.
start to see a lot of California. I mean, just the population. Look at the Midwest.
The
going
Midwest is
off.
partying. I know, because I was actually messaging with the guys at Good Day Farms over the weekend. They were popping off. Good Day was having a heck of a weekend.
Here, I've got it on 5x. Let me slide it to more
Smokies.
live.
Look at that, 92K per minute. It's already up 8K per minute since we started.
Yeah, it's climbing, huh? Let's see Saturday.
Yeah.
If I can kind of go midday.
Or wait, actually, were we on today?
We were on today. Yeah, I just clicked over to Saturday.
So that's where it peaked on. Is that what it peaked at on Saturday?
No, it hasn't refreshed. It's just loading the.
We've got a lot of things running here.
Oh yeah,
a lot of heavy data.
419. See if it can just load. That's Sunday. Well, we will see if it comes in. Okay, breakout brands. How about this?
Yes.
This is fun. I like the brand story a lot.
Brands are fun.
Brands are fun. And even when I went in this weekend, I'm like, oh, look at these brands that I did not know about. Which is not that crazy because there are so many brands. There are so many brands. And
Washington especially.
Washington especially. Yeah, it's a madness. Yeah.
SKU rationalization does not seem to be on the menu in Washington State. I feel like you walk in there and it's like, I mean, never forget Fire Ass Mids.
I didn't see him. Where I was at.
Oh man,
I wasn't look hard enough. Yeah,
it's 420 every day at Fire Ass Mids. So
it's the best.
Okay.
Well,
so wait,
I think
tell me about brands. Let's do brands.
Our dashboard is getting a denial of service attack or something. Can't handle the volume.
Can't handle.
Gonna have to talk to our engineers over here.
Thought you guys were a tech company.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just thankful that we're not one of the tech companies that has to handle the transactions for the stores. Right.
We will not.
Sorry, not to give you like PTSD.
I can't even believe you just brought that up. No.
I mean, like anybody who's running a point of sale company, online menu. It's a very stressful day, right?
At soup to nuts, stressful.
Yeah, it's like Amazon going down on Black Friday or something. So can't have that. But for us, we just monitor it, and this is just a fun dashboard that is not part of our core products. Anyways, should come back eventually. All right, so brands. Let's see. I got a ton of brands here, and they're sorted on dollar lift on my list here. So I'm just kind of scanning this. Unit prior. Looking at the big movers that also had some volume. We're dead.
Oh no, not a gateway.
It's all right. I'm going to switch over to headset here. Okay.
Over to headset.
Yeah. So first brand on my list, absolute dollar lift, NOBO, NOBO. Are you familiar with a NOBO?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
Okay.
Tell me about the brand. I can spell NOBO.
Oh my God, this is my all day, every day. I need to name this robot something because it is my friend.
I know it needs a name. I mean, it's Ask Headset, and it's pretty good. And yeah, you're looking at my version of it, which shows a lot of like the reasoning and stuff, which is cool. But while it loads here, NOBO was the top on the dollar sales. No, absolute dollar lift. That was the metric that it's sorted by. So they did 875K, and the prior weekend they did 360K. So pretty big lift there. Total unit lift only 26% lift. But dollar lift, that's like 100%. Is that right? Yeah. Wow. Units. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Look
good.
at that Gen Z female party.
Oh, data's coming in. Okay. What do we got? NOBO, Michigan, and Colorado.
Well, that doesn't. Okay. Wow. That's an aggressive. Those are aggressive markets. Super competitive.
Super competitive, but I bet you, yeah. Look at the data difference. It's like coming in, big time from Michigan. 90%.
Yep.
Flower, millennials, Gen Z.
Wow. What does this look like? I need to look this up.
Gotta look it up.
What's up with the chicks are digging it?
Fast growing, multi-category brand. Younger customers gravitate towards flower and vape. Edibles draw a more mature audience.
Huh.
Strong momentum heading into 2026 and strong momentum coming out of 420 weekend. We'll have to tag them so they see this stuff. That's pretty good. Yeah.
All right.
Let's see. Looking at volume lift. Trying to find one from my list that has good unit volume lift, but also good dollar base. Alien Labs, almost 100% unit growth. They did 13.8 and went to 27 units from 420 weekend versus prior weekend. That's pretty big. Let's see. Hytek, Hytek. Are you familiar with Hytek?
No, I'm not. Where's that?
We were about to find out. We should have like a brand trivia quiz test for ourselves here. But they're making the list. They're making the list on moving brands. So NOBO, Hytek, Alien Labs. We called out Goldkine, all one word, Kine. Goldkine flower grew 123% unit sales. Dollar baseline growth 200K, so they did about 400K, so 100% dollar growth, more than 100% unit growth. So that's something. Okay, we're back. Got to stop breaking it.
All right, yeah. So where are we? We're at 92K per minute. Average basket size is 70. What's the average basket size nationwide on a daily rate? Do you remember?
It's like 50.
Yeah, I thought so. Like somewhere between 50 and 60. Okay, so that's a pretty big lift. That's also good.
Big lift.
Look at that. Baskets popping off.
Totally popping off.
Yeah, we did so we did a doorbuster today for, we do it tied to a minimum spend, and it does let people build a basket and then they get a goodie for it, or a couple of goodies in the instance today. We really kind of treated the first patients and those spending pretty well in Sunburn today.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, you're just trying to celebrate the holiday for the folks who shop with you regularly. But 70 is good. That's a good basket. All right. There's Hytek.
There's Hytek. Yeah. So we have these brands on Headset.io too. Not every brand, but if you don't have a subscription to Headset and you're curious about some brands and how they're doing and how they're ranking, you can get some of this data directly. Oh, there's Goldkine. So yeah, Michigan's having a good 420. Goldkine flower rankings went down to 17 from 13. Hytek up to 15 here. March. This is through March, right? So I know we're talking about 420, but gives you a good sense of what's driving these brands.
What's going down in New York right now?
What is going down in New York? Can I click New York? New York.
That's our PYT. She's
PYT
gonna
market.
Have a good year. She's going to have a good 420.
Check out Vape, third place in New York.
Yeah.
Washington, it's first place. That's crazy.
Flower pre-roll. Interesting.
Discount rate is low, but I think they have to cap discounts in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
right.
Some
and
rules.
It's a younger market. This looks like a younger market. This is what cannabis looked like a few years ago in like California and other, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Let's see if I can get California. Ooh, here we go. don't like to see red on the
Yeah.
graphic there, but this is March versus year over year. March was down 9% versus last year. Average basket 68. Oh, that's today. Discount rate almost 50%. Vape pen number 2 here. Flower still number 1. Contrast that with maybe Washington, 45%. Vape number 1, 30%.
Cool.
Yeah, crazy. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Other brands, there's some huge unit gains, but their dollar sales pretty small. Which drives like a huge percentage, or their baseline unit sales are right. Small. Yeah, it's a good list though. So we said NOBO, there's MKX, oil company, vape, top category. I should explain that these are category specific brand rankings. So NOBO is flower, Hytek flower, Alien Labs flower, Goldkine flower. MKX oil is vape for these numbers. 1.2 million in sales versus 760 last weekend. So that's almost a $500,000 lift, and their unit lift was 106%. So MKX oil having a really good 420 weekend as well. Let's see if I can find them. There we go. Michigan.
Of course, I was going to say this is Michigan.
Well, Michigan's the second largest state behind California. Yep. Look at their vape category. This green
consumer base. Yes, look at that. Okay.
Number 1 in March. Number 1 brand having a number 1 420 weekend. Congrats, MKX oil. Yeah, that's good.
Sai, do you know the history of 420?
Do I know the history? Okay, I'm a 420 expert. I wrote the book on 420. Let me just find my notes from the book I wrote on the origin.
I'll give you a tip. Where's Waldo?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So this is book. Where's Waldo? So here's what I got from the research of the book I will write.
Yes. My book is going to be called Tales from the K-Hole. Just kidding.
So 420 came, it's actually well documented, which I know for the longest time was not, I don't know, I felt like there was like all sorts of stuff that people would say where it came from. But 5 teenagers in San Rafael, California.
You said it right.
Thank you. I'm also an expert in California city pronunciation. Yes. They called themselves the Waldos. I don't know why. This is way before Where's Waldo, for anybody that knows Where's Waldo. 5 individuals: Steve Capper, Dave Reddix, Jeffrey Noel, Larry Schwartz, and Mark Gravich. In fall 1971, they heard about an abandoned cannabis crop reportedly tended by a Coast Guardsman at Point Reyes, and set up a meeting to go hunt it down after sports practice. See, stoners play sports, people. At the Louis Pasteur statue on the grounds of San Rafael High School at 420. The original phrase was 420 Louis. After multiple failed weekend hunt expeditions, the rumored crop was never found, supposedly. The phrase shorthanded into just 420 and then into a code for cannabis time in general. They had personal ties to the Grateful Dead. Reddix's brother, who was one of the Waldos, Dave Reddix, one of these five teenagers, who must be around somewhere. They're still around. It's not that long ago, right? Reddix's brother was a close friend of bassist Phil Lesh of the Grateful Dead, and the phrase spread from Deadhead circles out to the broader counterculture. So in your neighborhood, which is like epicenter Grateful Dead, yeah. It is, right?
Yeah.
In San Francisco, it's particularly like your neighborhood of San Francisco.
Yeah.
Is 420 still a thing, right?
420 is a huge thing. I mean, Okay, so California, 1996, we got the medical program going here. So that's
Right.
major history. And that was because of Brownie Mary, for anyone who wants to look up the history of medical cannabis in the United States. 100K per minute.
Boom.
It's going up. So, yeah, but everybody, I obviously hate Ashbury right here. And Hippie Hill in Golden Gate Park is where a massive smoke off happens, or smoke out, or whatever it is. It's also, the Grateful Dead played down in the Panhandle and over in Golden Gate Park. And the Grateful Dead house is 710 Ashbury, so it's very close to here too. So obviously the culture is strong. In fact, I used to get my medical card at Amoeba Music. The doctor was in the back. Yeah.
At Amoeba?
At Amoeba, the doctor's office was inside the record store, which I always thought was the coolest thing.
I had a friend who used to work at Escape from New York Pizza right there.
Oh yeah, it's right there.
Yeah, right there.
I bet they have a good day today. But yeah, so like the joke is, like, I can't go anywhere probably after about 1:00 today in my car because the migration up Haight Street to Golden Gate Park will be in full
migration. That's so
yeah,
funny.
it is. It's pretty. It's a thing for sure. Actually, Meadow used to. I don't know if they're doing it this year, but they were cool. They did the cleanup crew for Hippie Hill to make sure that there was nothing left behind. But yeah, so 420, born out of Northern California. There's a lot of cannabis culture that comes out of here. Yeah, the Dead is obviously pretty, Venn diagrams pretty tight of folks who love cannabis with people who love the Dead. And Northern California, known for epic cannabis from the Emerald Triangle down to Sonoma County and further south as well. So there is a lot of history here, even if the market, isn't having its best year over year experience. I'm curious to see how their 420 does, but I think you're right. Like a 420 on a Monday is interesting. 420 on Easter Sunday was interesting. So I'm just curious to see how we do comparatively speaking. But I think the party, really started on Thursday, Friday last week. The party went through the weekend. We saw massive, great results over the weekend down at Sunburn in Florida. And like I said, there's just a lot of energy around it. So it's kind of fun that it's on a Monday.
Yeah, that's true. I think you should go and document the Great Migration, like live stream it, like a National Geographic episode, I'm here amongst the Great Migration.
Reporting live from Haight and Ashbury.
Right.
Yeah, I should do that actually.
I
haven't.
You should at least go sometime. I would love to see a picture of what's going on. And that's and Meadow cleaned it up, huh? Meadow's a point of sale partner of ours. Hua, their CEO, is he in San Francisco? Is that right? He's in. Yeah, that's right.
Yep, HQ is right in San Francisco.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Are the hippies pretty messy on 420, or is it like an easy cleanup?
Right. So I do think it's like a little bit of New York Times Square New Year's Eve. Like it's kind of it's
just
like
jump in.
Yeah. So I wouldn't blame just the avid consumers. I would say it's just a spectacle, and whenever there's a spectacle, all kinds of crazy things happen. So, but I think it's also very on brand of the industry to like take care of a park and clean up after the party. So
totally. Over the time, there's been some crazy. do you remember Denver used to do their big 420 right on the lawn outside of the state building, and
yes.
Yeah, just crazy. It seems like it's calmed down a bit. Maybe it's Monday. Maybe we'll see if there's a Saturday 420 the years ahead. But additional stuff. So after the deadhead circles expanded out the kind of into the broader counterculture, by the early 90s, High Times had picked it up. The number went national. And in 98, the magazine formally acknowledged the Waldos as originators. So it's the gospel. If High Times is saying it, I imagine we gotta. They've done their research, and I guess I have to cancel my book deal now that High Times has got it all figured out. The 420 myths that people repeat at parties, and I remember some of these from way back. It's not a police code. That was a big thing, right? Oh, it's a 420 because that's what they call calling in a 420, but it is not a police code. although maybe now if they should make it one.
Yeah.
Not every clock in Pulp Fiction is set to 420. I didn't know this, but it's been a while since I watched Pulp Fiction. Even if I had watched it, I don't know if I'd pick up on this, but I guess Tarantino wrote parts of the script in Amsterdam and left a couple of Easter eggs in the pawn shop scene where a lot of the clocks are set to 420. Not all of them, but a lot of them. So something to watch and look out for. Watch Pulp Fiction, pawn shop, look for the clocks. And then a Bob Dylan, Rainy Day Women, number 12 and 35. It's fun coincidence because 12 times 35 is 420. Somebody check my math here. And the song's refrain is Everybody Must Get Stoned. The song predates the Waldos 1971 coinage by 5 years. The song came out in 1966. So just a coincidence.
Just a coincidence.
And then, today's world, there's anybody who follows along with AI stuff, there's ChatGPT, there's Gemini, there's Claude, and there's Grok, which is XAI's, also Twitter or X owned. And their latest version is Grok 4.20. That came out in March or mid-Feb. Yeah, came out in March. So that's, I think, the newest. So if you're using Grok out there, anybody on Twitter or whatever, you're using the 420 edition. So happy coincidence. And I know Elon Musk's always making 420 jokes.
He is.
Always.
He does.
Let's see. What's going on this week/weekend? I guess today or in the weekend. Mm-hmm. On the top of the list, and this one sounds awesome, 420 on the Rocks. Did you see this?
No, what is that one? Oh my God.
At the Red Rocks Amphitheater in Colorado, Ice Cube and Snoop Dogg doing Party 420. On, yeah, not bad for a Monday night, right?
Red Rocks is one of the coolest venues I've ever been to in my life.
I have never been. I've never been. I know.
Go. Everybody should go and try to get down in the front middle because A, you'll be warmer, and B, it's awesome because you have a good view. And then you just like spin around and look up the amphitheater. It's awesome. It's the coolest. Rosie and I have done a few tours around Red Rocks for some shows, but that's a cool place to go for 420.
Other 420, SweetWater 420 Fest. This is in Atlanta. For those in the South in the Georgia area, SweetWater, you may be familiar with SweetWater Brewing. Mm-hmm. SweetWater Brewing has a 420 IPA, I think. That's 420 right. Something. Yep. I do believe they're owned by Tilray. They
are.
Predominant beer/cannabis company out of Canada, who has been buying up a lot of beer companies, including SweetWater. So it's cool. Atlanta to have this.
That is cool.
Yeah, see some names I recognize on here. So neat for Georgia there. There's the KannaFest with a K, 3-day takeover in Long Island City. Long Island City.
It's by
New York City. Yeah, yep. Right.
It's cool.
Sorry. Yeah, I was just thinking, was I just there?
That's popping off a little bit more now. Yep.
It is popping off. I remember Amazon, they were considering it for like their HQ number 2 out of Seattle. And I think they ended up in like the DC area, but they were talking about Long Island City. I was getting it confused for a second with Jersey City because that's also near Manhattan, but on the Jersey side. But past Long Island City already happened. So if you missed it, you missed it. But maybe you catch it for 2026. And then in San Francisco, Smoker's Dream 420 Festival at the Midway. Live music, cannabis culture programming from Oakland and the wider Bay.
Yep, the Midway's a famous venue. Super fun parties there, so that's cool. Do you know my favorite 420 thing I ever did was last year. I went and saw, went to the Masonic venue here in San Francisco, watched The Big Lebowski, and then had a fireside chat with Jeff Bridges.
That's
the dude
the best.
Himself. That was an epic 420.
You can't beat that one.
That was pretty cool. Yeah, he sat and chatted for a long time too. Gave us all the goods. The dude.
That's pretty good. I mean, Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg at Red Rocks, but holy shit, that would be pretty good to see the dude.
It was cool.
Speaking of Snoop Dogg, I'm in Seattle and he was just here last week. And there's all sorts of, he was hanging out with the Costco CEO because Costco is based here, right?
Yes.
And I think they're rolling out like his wine or something. So there's like all these photos of him walking around Costco with the Costco CEO. So guy's a busy guy. I was out at another just shop, like kind of like a gift shop this weekend. And, one of those places just sell like random thing, like cooking books. And they had a bunch of, I guess he's got like 2 cookbooks now, Snoop Dogg, or at least 2 that they were selling amongst, all these other things. So he's a busy guy.
He's an enterprising guy. I just like don't even know what to do with him. I feel like everything is so polarizing in the United States except for Snoop Dogg. I feel like
he's the glue.
All of a sudden he's like the Olympics announcer.
That's right.
He's just like,
he was doing hockey for a minute. He's like, I don't know what I'm doing, but yeah.
Yeah.
Our future president, Snoop Dogg.
Oh wait, that
bring the people together.
That would be pretty great. No, one of my favorite things. Have you ever heard him do the voiceovers of like the animal videos?
No.
Oh my God. He does
That's
like
amazing.
Planet Earth dub overs and it's like I gotta send it to you. Honest to God, I still cry laughing every time I watch him. But
oh my God,
I know Snoop Dogg. I'm so grateful. He's kind of the patron saint of cannabis. Like he's the right guy for this.
Totally the right guy. Yeah. Totally the right guy. Especially with a couple cookbooks hanging out in Costco. He's crossing party lines here. He's hanging out with just
Martha, so
exactly right. She was way ahead of the curve with that. Kind of. Yeah, I know he does like coaching and stuff for like Pee Wee football. Yeah, seems like a decent dude.
No, I think he's a good dude. All right, so we're at 100. Okay, so we're wrapping up here on the hour, and this is like fun. I think I might want to say we should do this again for 7/10 because that's another holiday that I love.
Well, I'm sure we can repurpose this dashboard for 7/10.
Kind of neat.
It would be cool. All right, let's do it.
I don't know because concentrates are, 102K per minute. I'm gonna be watching this all day.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be midday where you have people clocking out on the East Coast, commuting home, running an errand, and then, West Coast going, where I think we'll see some good volume. It is pretty wild, right? Like, look at the transaction rate, 1,400 transactions a minute getting ingested right now. Steezy's selling $600 worth of product a minute.
A minute. How many units is that? 38
a minute.
Units per minute. Party on.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise. I mean,
yeah, that's nuts, right? Just
look at, those are all Cali-born brands.
They are. Yeah, California's online now for sure at this is 9:20. So it's still delayed a little bit, even though we're almost at 11 here. So this is just going to get crazier because 9 is still early on the sales data.
It's going to get crazy because we're going to see the lift on the West Coast, but then the East Coast is going to be ramping right into 4:00 Eastern. So it's just this is going to be fun. I'm going to be watching this all day. I was watching it all weekend too, just to see what was shaken over the and then I was texting everybody I knew who had a brand that showed up in the
that's cool.
Yeah, I don't know, it's like, look at you guys, you're showing up. So like the rhythm was reigning supreme starting Friday, I want to say. I was seeing, and like I know we talked about the Queen Cola, I think those babies sold out before even the weekend. I don't know, maybe they did another drop, but Reddit is an active community of connoisseurs in the industry, and I saw a lot of Queen Colas on there.
Yeah, you'll see Rhythm, you'll see Steezy, you'll see Jeter. Often, brands that have a big footprint, Wild Edibles, right, will show up on this because they have such a footprint. So they're selling all over the country. To see Raw Garden here, where they're only in California, New Jersey, is pretty good. When you compare it to Steezy, who's in many more markets. So stay tuned. I ended up, I guess to share mine, I got some edibles. So I'm helping the edible number and then vape as well. So pushing that vape number up in Washington. There was one place I went to 55% off.
Sweet baby James.
It's crazy. Yeah. I felt like I was in Florida without the humidity. I was just like, what? This price is crazy. Yeah. So cheap.
Oh, 40% off. I was psyched. You
Yeah.
know? I mean,
Yeah, when it shows you the subtitle or subtotal, and then it shows you the, what you're actually paying, it's 55% is like a shocking number. I feel like when you imagine just paying full rate. So
full freight. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
in California too, the thing that, I always dry heave over is when you finally check out and the taxes hit. And then you go from midnight to 6, you're like, oh my God. I'm going to have to take a couple of things out of the basket, please.
I know.
It's shocking, but I think we'll have fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us. If you're listening to this on your podcast, definitely check out the dashboard, 420.headset.io. Or you can find this recording on YouTube so you can see everything that we're looking at while we're talking about it. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thanks for listening to the High Rise Podcast, presented by Headset. For more information on Headset, visit headset.io.